Every year at Hogwarts, hundreds of first-years step nervously into the Great Hall. The candles float, the crowd hushes, and then an old frayed hat begins to sing. It seems almost funny, doesn't it, that one of the most powerful magical artifacts in the wizarding world is a hat. But the truth is, the Sorting Hat isn't just enchanted fabric. It's a living piece of Hogwarts' very soul. Older, wiser, and far more complicated than most students ever realize. Today, we're peeling back the layers of magic, memory, and mystery to uncover the hidden history of the Sorting Hat, where it came from, how it really works, and what secrets it might still be keeping. And if you love deep dives like this into the lore and legends of the wizarding world, hit like, subscribe, and ring the bell. It helps more than you know. And in the comments, tell me what part of Hogwarts history you want to uncover next. Long before the Hogwarts we know, before the ghosts, the paintings, even the moving staircases, there were 4 founders: Godric Gryffindor, Helga Hufflepuff, Rowena Ravenclaw, and Salazar Slytherin. They built the school not only to teach magic, but to preserve it. Each founder had their own vision of what greatness meant: bravery, loyalty, intelligence, ambition. But as they grew older, one question haunted them. Who would decide which students belonged where after they were gone? Gryffindor, ever the visionary, came up with the answer. He took his own hat by a plain wizard's cap, and together, the 4 founders enchanted it with fragments of their own minds and magic. That's right, the Sorting Hat isn't just alive, it literally contains the thoughts and personalities of the founders themselves. Every time it speaks, it's channeling centuries-old wisdom, and sometimes the ghosts of old disagreements. Most students think the hat's job is simple: pick a house, sing a song, and go back to sleep. But the truth is, it's far more complex than that. When the hat sits on your head, it doesn't just read your thoughts. Well, it weighs your heart, your desires, your fears. It sees not only who you are, but who you could become. That's why the hat occasionally struggles. Think about Harry Potter. He had the courage of a Gryffindor, but the ambition and cunning of a Slytherin. Or Hermione, a brilliant mind worthy of Ravenclaw, yet sorted into Gryffindor for her bravery. The hat isn't judging ability, it's judging potential, and sometimes destiny. And here's the fascinating part: it doesn't always get it right. Peter Pettigrew, sorted into Gryffindor, proved cowardly and treacherous. On the flip side, Snape, a Slytherin, ultimately became one of the bravest people in the story. Maybe the hat isn't choosing who you are, maybe it's choosing the path that will test you the most. Every year, before the sorting begins, the hat sings a song. And those songs aren't random. They're warnings. In Order of the Phoenix, its song speaks of unity, of how the founders once fought among themselves, and how their division nearly destroyed Hogwarts. That's not nostalgia, that's a prophecy. It means the hat remembers. It still feels the echo of the argument that drove Salazar Slytherin away, the fight over blood purity that split the founders apart. And it fears history repeating itself, so when the hat sings, it isn't performing tradition, it's pleading with the school to stay united, to not make the same mistakes that tore its creators apart. It's the school's conscience, disguised as a quirky piece of clothing. Here's something most fans don't realize. The Sorting Hat is one of the most advanced magical creations ever made. It combines legilimency, the art of mind reading, with enchantment, transfiguration, and even a form of Horcrux-like memory binding. But unlike a Horcrux, the hat wasn't made through death or dark magic, it was made through love. 4 great witches and wizards embedding a part of themselves for future generations. It's also indestructible. Fire, curses, even time can't destroy it. The hat survived the burning of the Great Hall during the Battle of Hogwarts, and it was through the hat that Neville pulled out the Sword of Gryffindor, proving the founder's magic still responds to courage in the purest sense. So the hat doesn't just sort, it chooses champions. In that moment, it didn't just give Neville a weapon, it acknowledged his worth. Which makes you wonder, how much free will does the hat actually have? Like, if it can summon artifacts, rewrite destiny and remember history, then it's more than a relic, it's practically a guardian. What happens when the hat can no longer sing? What happens when the founders' memories fade, or when the school changes so much that their ideals no longer fit? There's a theory among historians that the hat's consciousness evolves with every generation, that each new wave of students leaves a trace of themselves inside it, like echoes added to the original spell. If that's true, then the Sorting Hat we see today isn't just the founders speaking, it's every student who's ever worn it, every choice, every fear, every dream. It's a living record of Hogwarts itself. That's what makes it so haunting. It knows the school better than anyone. It's seen every triumph and every failure. It's the silent witness to centuries of magic and war, and maybe in its own quiet way, it's still guiding the next generation toward balance. The next time you watch that sorting scene, remember, that old patched hat isn't just choosing houses, it's carrying the weight of history, the hopes of four founders, the lessons of every student who's ever passed through those doors, and in that moment, that as it lowers over a child's head and whispers a single word, it's shaping the future of the wizarding world. If you enjoyed this deep dive into the lore of Hogwarts, don't forget to like this video, subscribe, and share. Thanks for watching. Peace.